YouTube tarot reader, Lisa Lee, has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Good evening, everybody. I just realized, just as I was about to say hello, that the microphone was behind me. Never mind. Good evening. I hope you are all well. Welcome to Beyond Authentic. We are going to be doing some tarot readings tonight, so we'll be starting that whole process very, very, very soon. How is everybody doing? I hope you are all doing fantastically well. We have, I think, a little case of lurgy here at Tarot Towers, and that's definitely what I'm going to name this now. This is now where I live is now going to be Tarot Towers. Absolutely, that'll be amusing to me, if not nobody else, but it'll be amusing to me anyway. Tarot Towers. Not that I can say it properly, but yeah, we've got a little bit of lurgy, resulting in both of us feeling a little bit poorly, but we're struggling on as always. So yes, I am going to what am I going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing some tarot readings. Before that, this is what I need to do. I need to play the housekeeping. So tarot is for entertainment purposes only, as you all know. It does say it up here, but I've got to hit this before I go any further. Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or any time in the future. Yeah, that last one's really important. Do not share your private information anywhere online if you can help it. Good evening to Amanda. A general love reading for the next 30 days. We'll definitely do that for you, my darling. You'll be the first cab off of the rank today. Why is it so dark? Why do I look so dark? I don't understand why everything is looking quite as... Well, that didn't really help, did it? It helped me, but now I look ghostly. I don't know why everything's looking so dark, so I'm going to have to try and fix that in a second. So we are going to be doing some tarot readings. As always, there are two ways to get tarot readings here on this channel. You can wait until I open up a free round and then pop your question in the live chat, or as Amanda has done, you can send it through as a chat, and that will guarantee that your reading is up. So yeah, those are the two ways to get readings on this channel. Good evening to Chan's Juicy Tarot. Hello, my darling. I hope you are well. Good evening to... Oh, I've just put them in. Literally, like the opening, there were no earrings, and now there are. Coffee Fiend, because you know I am useless without my coffee. She says, realizing that she hasn't even had a slurp of it since sitting down. So yes, Galinda. I haven't even seen Wicked yet. Good evening to Melinda is what I was trying to say. Galinda, yes. Good evening to you. Good evening, Holland. Thank you for being here, Holland. Holland is one of our lovely moderators, and they have their own channel at Holland M. here on the YouTubes. Go and check it out at Holland M. And basically they do all sorts of arty videos. It's very, very cool, very relaxing, very chill. If you just want something to play when you do you know those days, one of those days, do you know those days, right? You just need a bit of chill time. You need just a little bit of the world's going to be okay. We'll get through this for the next 4 years. You just need that. Holland's channel is fantastic for that. Holland's channel is fantastic. So yes, do check that out. At Holland M. What was I going to say? Good evening to Belinda Jane Harris, one of our new members. And Chance Juicy Tarot, did I get my house sorted out? Yes and no. This room is still complete mess. If I turn the camera that way, you would see my latest crafty type projects, because you cannot be a fully fledged paid up member of the ADHD club unless you have multiple crafty type projects all happening at the same time. And so my latest one is sat just over there in tubs. So yes, good evening to Neil. Good evening, Neil. Glad you're here. Neil's another one of our lovely moderators as well. Right then, so I do have a super chat in, so I am going to very quickly hit this button and then we'll come and I will start the reading. So Amanda, you'll be up very, very, very soon, straight after this little message. So then, Amanda, I'm just setting the stage for you, my darling. So let's have a wee look. There we go. So Amanda's message is dead easy to find because it's in its own little category. This is why whenever anybody sends a super chat, it goes in its own little space here on the StreamYard. It's incredibly useful because it means that even my poorly brain, even when I'm in the most of the neurospiciest of spices, like 150 on the Scoville scale of neurospice, at that point, I can still find the messages. It's so cool. It really is. Right. Let's have a go. So let's have a go. What even am I saying? True. I do apologize today if I'm a bit spacey. I have only recently taken my painkillers, so they are beginning to take effect. So if I'm a bit spaced out, that will be the reason why. So then, as always, we cleanse the space. We use our lovely bell. So if you don't know why I ring the bell, it's because in a lot of witchcraft tradition, bells are used to cleanse energy. The idea is that the vibrations from ringing the bell cleanse a space, and you'll notice I do it in 3 circles around my working space, and I do that before each reading. And even if I'm sat here doing other witchy things without filming or without doing anything for YouTube's, if I'm working on something or writing something, I'll still cleanse with the bell and also use my smudge spray. But when I'm doing tarot, we also bring in Wispy, who is an elemental air dragon. He's actually a segregor, or is he a servitor, or is he a thought form? Find out. I've just put the link into the live chat for the podcast episode where I discuss what my dragons are, how they were created, and me and Neil talk about them in quite a bit of detail. Actually, we go into the dragons. So yeah, so Wispy is the one that joins us for tarot. Wispy is the air elemental, and basically is the go-between between me and these 78 bits of coloured cardboard and the Akashic records where all the knowledge is held. So that's Wispy's job, is to go and get that. So then, Wispy, Amanda would like to know a general love reading for the next 30 days, please. A general love reading for the next 30 days. And I love the fact, can I just say, the most important thing that Amanda has put here, look how lovely this is. Look, we've got a please and a thank you. That is amazing in this day and age to get a please and thank you. So then, Wispy, what do we think? Next 30 days of love for Amanda. Let's see what there is. And I'll tell you what, Amanda, I'm going to boost you to a 6-card reading just because you said please and thank you. So look at that. I'm not going to do it for everyone, but I'm going to boost you up. So then let's have a look. Where you are now, 10 of Wands, what you need to know. Oh, hang on. They stuck together then. Did you see that? There we go. What you need to know. Temperance. Okay. And the Knight of Cups coming in your future. Cups is your emotional side. So we'll get into that in a bit. Linking the 10 of Wands to Temperance, we have the 5 of Wands. A lot of reversals here. Everything being reversed. Right. From Temperance to the Knight of Cups. We've got the 9 of Swords reversed. And for the root card, we've got the 2 of Cups reversed. Okay, everything is reversed. Let me just... No, look, we've got upright cards in the deck. Look, lots of upright cards. So, there you go. As you can see, it's not some magic deck mysteriously all become reversed. That is, it's just that all 7... I can't add up. All 6 of your cards have come out reversed. So this is telling us, this is an important fact, right? We'll get to it as we go through the reading. So first of all, the 10 of Wands. I always say, and you'll hear me say it on a regular basis on this channel. Do excuse me while I just reset the... There we go. I always say that the 10, the 9s are full and 10 is overflowing. So what is overflowing with Wands? Wands is your suit of sense of self, your self-confidence, your confidence, everything you know yourself to be. Okay, this is... Hang on. Right. Sorry. This is airing. If it was this way up, right, it would be arrogance. It would be airing onto arrogance, going beyond confidence, beyond surety, beyond knowing yourself, into that arrogant. We all know those people, don't we, who just think the world revolves around them. They are the main character in whoever's story. You know, it's someone else's birthday, but they have to be the one that's in the limelight. Someone else's wedding, they're going to be the one that also wears a white dress. Do you know what I mean? It's that main character energy. However, because this is reversed, it's saying almost the exact opposite. I think when it comes to love, I think that you are really, really, really hard on yourself, and I think you're really insecure. I think that there's a lot of things that you feel you could be confident in, you know, but I think it's one of those things where maybe because of previous relationships, or maybe because of, you know, other factors in your past, that you are really reticent about, you know, putting yourself out there and putting yourself forward, because it really does feel, with this card being reversed, that as positive and into arrogance as it is when it's upright, when it's reversed, it kind of has that same but opposite connotation. So it really does feel as if you're not somebody who feels able to, you know, let their light shine. And that's one of the really important things when you're looking for love, when you are looking for somebody to come into your life, you have to show them what you have to offer as well. So if you are really funny, be really funny, and feel confident about your humor, feel confident about the fact that, you know, generally you're quite quick-witted and you're able to, you know, find a funny moment. Do that. If you are somebody who is incredibly, I don't know, incredibly caring and is always, you know, helping other people, and then let that show, let that confidence, like, turn that frown upside down, but literally do that. Literally show your confidence, show yourself. You have lots of, if you had to write a list and you were 100% honest, right, not down on yourself like this card suggests, not feeling inferior or feeling that you're not capable. If you had to write a list of all the things that you bring to a relationship, right, in fact, go and do it after this reading, after the live stream, go and do it. Go and write down everything that you bring to a relationship, because I am damn sure there'll be tons of stuff on there that you don't even think about right now. And put everything down. You know, I am self-sufficient, but also have, but also like spending time as a couple. That's great. That's something to write down. I am a good dog parent. That's something to write down, because again, sometimes we don't recognize those positives in ourselves. And this one card, I know I'm harping on about it, but this one card is speaking volumes in how you see yourself. It really is. So, Temperance, the only major arcana card that we have in this reading. And we've got Temperance, and Temperance is all about finding a middle way. It's about negotiating. It's about compromising. It's about finding a way where everybody is happy. The thing is, this is not what you need to be doing when you're looking for love, right? This is not what you need to be doing. You need to also make yourself happy, right? Temperance as a card is all about working things out so that everybody gets a little bit of what they want, right? In terms of love, in terms of wanting to know what is coming and wanting to know how you can best be, yourself and your true self within a relationship, Temperance is great, but too much can be really, really, like, too much of a good thing. If you are constantly putting other people's needs first, making sure that everybody gets an equal share of the pie, that's fantastic. But if you are the one that has provided the ingredients and baked the pie and decorated the pie and then put the pie on the table and made sure that everybody sat around gets a slice, your little tiny slice of that pie will be equal to everyone else's, even though you've done 100% of the work and got 100% of the costs and 100% of the bill and the invoice for the electric and all of that. That sounds fair if everybody else chips in to cover those costs, right? And quite often with Temperance, it's an amazing card for sharing and, compromise, negotiated ways through all of that. It's an amazing card for that. However, to be this person, to be the one who is doing the sharing out, to be the one who is doing the negotiations, leading them so that everybody else around the table gets what they want, often you don't get what you want because you're too busy making sure that everybody else around the table is happy and you don't get your needs met. So this being reversed is saying that this is in what you need to know. Like, yes, being a people pleaser can be great, as long as one of those people you're pleasing is yourself. Do you know what I mean? And that's really important. In the future, so again, you're asking for a very specific within the next month. We do have Knight of Cups energy coming in. Now, Cups is your romantic energy, okay? So Cups is all about romance, your emotions, all of that. The Knights, however, are tricky little buggers, right? They are really tricky because Knights give off teenage rebellious energy. These are the characters in the deck who think first, act later. They are the impulsive ones. They are the ones who will jump in where angels fear to tread. They literally have no thought to the repercussions of their actions. And even if that was pointed out, they'd jump in and do the same thing anyway. So this way up, it's like there is somebody coming with that impulsive sort of reaction in your romantic field, in your love area, your in Cups, in your emotional side. However, it's reversed. Now, I don't know whether this means somebody is going to come in and try playing your emotions, or whether this is saying that the person that's coming in. Oh, hang on, Wispy. Wispy's delivering a message. I know, right? It's a bit hard when my brain's not entirely firing on all cylinders. Oh God, come on, give me that again, Wispy. It's right on the tip of my tongue. it's like, why is the Knight reversed here? Come on. Yeah, I listen. If there's somebody in your life already, right, or if there is somebody, how can I put this? I think you need to be really careful of being used and having this part of you being abused, right? This temperance element, this element of insecurity. Do not let someone get under your skin, because what I'm getting with this, thank you, Wispy, what I'm getting with this being reversed, is that somebody is going to try and play with your emotions, right? So it almost feels like this person's already in your energy field, right? I know this is so airy fairy and so woo woo that it's words I don't normally use on the stream, but it feels like there is somebody already in your life who is maybe flirting a bit, who is going to try and gaslight you into something, or maybe try and make out that they're more into you than they actually are because they want something out of it. So be careful. This is giving me the heebie-jeebies, which again is a word I don't often use, but it's giving me a proper heebie-jeebies. Right, the next layer down, we've got the 5 of Wands. So again, everything's reversed. So this is really telling me that there is a lot of self-doubt going on with you, my darling. But anyway, 5 of Wands. Wands, again, your sense of security, sense of self, confidence, self-esteem, all of that. The 5 is a time of turmoil. So the 5 is a time where things aren't settled. Things are still up in the air. Things are still being sorted. Again, it feels like you are really unsure of your place in the world right now. Okay, particularly when it comes down to relationships. Now, again, I don't know whether this is due to a previous relationship or just generally due to the past, but it really does feel as if you're in a bit of a tipsy-turvy moment right now. That's also true because we've got the Nightmare card, and this is called the Nightmare card because the 9 of Swords literally has somebody waking up in bed with a sleep demon. I'm not saying you've got a demon like in your life, but in this person, they've got a nightmare, a sleep demon that's waking them up, and all they are doing is thinking about all of the problems, all of the issues. Because Swords is trouble and strife, hurdles and challenges. This is my ADHD brain at 5 o'clock this morning when I'm desperately trying to sleep going, oh, but what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? Oh, have you thought about, oh, maybe you should have, did you do this? Did you send that email? Did you do this? My brain would not shut off today at all this morning. It was an absolute nightmare for me. And this is why it's called the Nightmare card, because it is literally all of these issues are so much, they're on your mind so much you can't sleep. Again, it is reverse, which means I think it's something that has been with you for a long time. Listen, my advice just based on these, and I'll get to this 2 of Cups and why I think it is the most important card. But my advice on all of this is, again, I know I say it on almost every stream, but if you need some counseling advice to get to try and dig into what this is going on about, I would thoroughly recommend it, Amanda, because it really does feel as if there is some deep-rooted issues here that you are struggling with, my darling, and that they are holding you back when it comes to being your authentic self, being your truth, your true self, speaking your truth. That's what I'm trying to say. And opening up to romance. Again, this worries me. This Knight of Cups worries me. But this is the most important card, right? The 2 of Cups in your root. This is the root of the question. This is the base of it. The 2 of Cups this way up would be talking about a loving, harmonious relationship. A Cups is your emotional side. 2s are people coming together. And when it's upright, this is literally about 2 people that have found themselves. Whether they are, going to be together for 50 years or whether they're going to be together for 5 weeks, 5 days. It doesn't matter. This is a couple that have found themselves in the right place. They are right for each other right now. And in your reading, it's come up reversed. And what this is suggesting, my darling, is that perhaps, I'm just going to say it, I think you had something that you thought was the one. You had a relationship that you thought would be, this is who I'm going to marry, this is who I'm going to be in the nursing home with in 60, 70 years, 30 years, whatever. This is the person I'm going to be having grandkids with and buried beside. And it didn't work out, right? And because it didn't work out, it's coloring everything else in your romantic field. And you can see for everything from this 10 of Wands. So we go, if I take Temperance out of the equation, this becomes a, past to future. So we get the 10 of Wands, this insecurity leading to this turmoil. Again, not sure of yourself, not sure of your actions, leading to the 2. This is still lingering. This is still the root of everything. This is the cause. So it's from the past. We get to here where the relationship was, but now truly isn't, and it's left a massive hole. We get to the nightmare and all of the issues, thinking about what I said, what I did, what I could have said, what I could have done. Should I have seen the signs? Where did I ignore the red flags? What was happening? Blah, blah, blah. And that's leading you open to a bad one coming in again. Okay, my darling. So please, 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 I would say to you, until you've worked on this 2 of Cups, until you've dealt with whatever that relationship did, however it ended, however badly or whatever went wrong, before you find the next partner, then your next person, before you find that person, try and work on this. Try and get this dealt with, because otherwise it's that lingering animosity, that lingering hurt, that lingering pain is going to travel with you. I'm going to pull you an intuitive oracle card just because they're on the side. And this is from the Witch Casket subscription box. I do an unboxing of this every month. Oh, there we go. That one was the wrong way up, but never mind. We're going to cut the deck anyway, so we're going to cut them there. And your intuitive hard work, right? This is absolutely, my God, these cards are good. It's going to take that hard work. It is going to take a lot of effort to work on this past, right? It really, really will. But that hard work will pay off. It will pay off, my darling. So whilst there may be somebody within the next 30 days or already's kind of around you, hinting and throwing some breadcrumbs your way, don't be fooled by the knight. Don't be fooled by the shiny armor, right? The knights in stories of old and in days of old in England, when we had knights and people would go off on quests and king's follies and all of that, the knights would have multiple families in multiple villages. Don't let the knight of 2024 allow you to be another one of the wives in another one of the villages. Okay, my darling. I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. Thank you ever so much for your donation, and thank you ever so much for your reading. I'm going to come back into the live and swap the camera. There we go. And let's have a look. Right, my darling. Right. Good evening to and good evening to Mariana Ivanisevic. Good evening to you. Let me have a look. Your light is shunted in the beginning and then it shines when you're comfortable. Yes, I can absolutely see that. Good evening to Jack. You do know your worth, though. You're very generous in giving, a bit too much, though. Yep. Okay, I'm glad you understand, my darling. That's good. Queen Von Shay Tarot, good evening to you. Wavy, yes. Oh, thank you, Holland. It did help, Amanda. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. Listen, just get rid of that 2 of Cups, right? Or at least learn to turn it around, right? So it's not the be all and end all in your life, and things will improve. They absolutely will improve. Just be careful of dodgy nights. That's I mean, these days, I guess the impressive thing would be, you know, we swap out the knight in armor with a leather jacket, and we swap out the horse with a motorbike, and, you know, you've got that sort of James Dean bad boy type swagger that's a bit sexy. Do you know what I mean? You've got that sort of, yeah, that bad boy look. You know exactly what I'm saying, don't you? You know exactly what I'm saying. You know, we've got the leather jacket. It could be a leather jacket or a leather trench, like Brandon Lee in The Crow. I mean, is there anything sexier than Brandon Lee in The Crow? I ask you, knowing that the answer is already no. But yeah, good luck, my darling. Best of luck. Get some sort of counselling to get that Two of Cups resolved, and things will get better. And then you'll have healthy relationships, and then we want invites to weddings. That's what we want. Yep, that's what we want on this channel. We want invites to weddings, even if I've got to appear via Zoom. I am going to sort my bloody hair out. Believe it or not, it has been dealt with today. I have done my hair, but unfortunately it looks like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards for some reason tonight. Right, let's open up a free round. While I do that, I can brush through my hair and not look as haggard here on the YouTubes. I know, right? So if you want a reading, how do you get a reading on this channel? A freebie reading? You can do, well, you get a reading in two ways. The first way is to send it as a super chat. Okay, that automatically guarantees your spot, as Amanda did. It means you get a longer reading. It means also if you donate $8 or more, it's a longer reading. It also means that you are guaranteed to have your reading read. If, however, you don't want to, you can wait until now as I open up a freebie round, and then pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. Okay, start with the word question, and that will one of those will get picked by the keeper of the questions. Hopefully I'm making some sort of sense. My brain is still on a go slow today, so do bear with me. But yes, so that is the way to do it. Okay, ask your question, put the word question at the front, or send it through as a super chat, and do one of those things. You've got about 30 seconds. There we go. There we go. It's always handy having, I've got on my tarot desk in front of me, I've got lots of, thank you, Neil. Neil is our keeper of the questions today and says, Jack. So Neil's done a spinny thing. Is there a question for Jack? Hang on, there must be then. Jack, there we go. Yep. Fantastic. I've got your question, Jack. Yeah, so on my tarot table, I've obviously got my little emergency hairbrush, because we all need a little emergency hairbrush at times, and mine has enough of a reflection that you can kind of see what you're doing, so that I don't have to use normally on the, so the members will know this, right? Because on a members live, I have been known to sit there finishing doing my face, my mascara, my eyeshadow, whatever, and finishing brushing through and sorting my hair whilst we're live using the monitor. So it's literally like that. I'm like this going. So luckily, I don't have to do that when I'm on an actual live stream with all of you, because I've got a little mirror on the back so I can double check what I'm doing. It's good, isn't it? Right then, look at this. Jack's just like, I don't really care. Don't really care about your hair care routine, Lisa, or how you do your makeup. I just want my reading. I know, Jack. So a general reading for Jack. I'm going to do that now, my darling. And your reading will start straight after this.
We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God!
There we go. So then, Jack, let's have a wee look. So, as always, we cleanse the space. Why do we cleanse? Because I don't want any lingering energy from the previous reading coming through for Jack. It's like, you know, you wouldn't want it's, I tell you what, it's a bit like, why is that? Oh gosh, what have I done to this? What have I done to this? There we go. You wouldn't want to be in a restaurant and use somebody else's plates, would you? Do you know what I mean? Without them being cleaned and sterilized. You wouldn't want to get, you know, to have your plates on your table, or to have your dinner served and you've got a lovely steak and some chips maybe, and that little, you know, they do the little pot of peas, and then you've got this big smudge of something here, and you go, excuse me, what's that? Oh, it's the fish from the previous person who used your plate. Disgusting. You wouldn't want that. So it's the same principle. We cleanse the space between readings to make sure that nobody else's fish is still on our plate with our steak or our veggie burger or whatever it is we're eating. So then, I also ask Wispy to come in, who is our air elemental dragon, and Wispy is Wispy is the keeper of the knowledge, who basically he runs between the tarot deck and the Akashic records. For those of you who don't know, I keep mentioning the Akashic records. The Akashic records is a theory about a metaphysical library, and every single human on Earth, and some animals, I believe, our life story is in a book in that library, and that library goes back before time, right? And those books are accessible by certain metaphysical type people and also metaphysical type creatures like my dragons. So Wispy can go and access that information, and then somehow affects the way I shuffle. Thanks, Wispy. But somehow affects the order of the cards as I'm shuffling them, right? So I don't believe that this is me necessarily. I don't believe that I am in control of the shuffling. Certainly not consciously. So because of that, it's also the same reason why pendulums work. You may see I will hold a pendulum, and on camera, I've had somebody say this. On camera, I'll hold the pendulum and they'll say, yeah, but Lisa, look, your hand's moving. And I'll say, yeah, but not consciously. As far as I'm concerned, I'm holding it as still as possible. So if there is micro movements, that is coming from my subconscious. Therefore, it is a connection I have with the Akashic records, or through Wispy with the Akashic records, that my hand is moving. I am not doing anything consciously. I am not like, those people that try and take down casinos, where they'll get someone in on the inside that can shuffle cards a certain way and keeps track of all the cards, and that's just no. I can barely make them shuffle. I can't do a riffle. I can barely, mix them up, let alone determine which card is going where. Anyway, Jack, you don't really care about any of that. What you care about is your reading. So then, Wispy, a nice general reading for Jack. There we go. We've got your cut. Let's have a look. So, strength. Where are you now? We've got the strength card. What do you need to know? We've got the 4 of Pentacles, and what is in your future and opportunity card? We've got judgment. Interesting. We've gone from a reading with only 1 major arcana to a 3-card reading with 2. So let's have a look. Strength is the first card. So strength is all about what it says on the tin. Basically, it's about strength, right? Not a lot of interpretation needed here, except this is not just physical strength, right? This is about an emotional strength, a resilience. Because what actually happens, you can see on the little animation that I just played, strength is about a maiden, right? It's always a maiden. You can see, look, we've got a blushing maiden here, but it's a maiden who is going to the aid of a lion. Now, there's 2 theories on this lion. There is the lion has a thorn in its paw. There is the lion has a bad tooth, right? Whichever version, the woman is helping the lion. So she either pulls the bad tooth, which gives the lion relief, or she pulls the thorn, which gives the lion relief. As you can see here, we've got the mouth open and she's holding the lion's head, and we've got the paw raised. So it could be either, could be both, right? But this is the maiden who is going, I will help. This strength isn't a physical strength. This isn't the big, rough, tough, safari guy with a gun going, I will go and help the lion and use my big muscles and I will get him in a wrestling move and throw him on the ground and he will what's it called? He will bow down for me. No, this is a maiden literally going, I'm going to help you. Let me do this. Don't bite my head off. Here I come. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to reach in your mouth and grab that poorly tooth. That takes courage. It takes strength. It takes strength of character to overcome that fear. This is where you are right now, my darling. So whatever's happening in your life, keep going with that courage. Keep going with that same sense of, I'm doing the right thing, even though I'm scared shitless, right? This is that feel the fear and do it anyway type card. So whatever's happening, whatever is going on, keep going with it because you're doing the right thing. It's taking strength and resilience. What you need to know, we've got the Four of Pentacles. Pentacles is all about work, career, finances. It can also depict growth. So because it is linked in with the air elemental, it can also be growth. So quite often with Pentacles, we'll see lots of plants or lots of sort of earthy type things in other decks. This deck is a lot more how can I put it? It's designed a certain way, right? To not include things like that. This is why this person's purple. But anyway, the four is work, career, finances, and growth. But it's also, the four is really important because it's about stability. This person has balanced these, balanced one on her head. These are not going anywhere. They are very stable. They don't look stable, but they are stable. So this is saying in your work finance field, there is a stability here. This is what you need to know. This is a good time to this is a good time to save. This is a good time for you to, consolidate what you're doing, maybe pay off a few loans, pay off a few debts, that sort of thing. Your financial situation is going to be stable for a little while. Okay. At least that's what the cards are suggesting, that there is, you're in a time of not having to worry too much about where your next paycheck is coming from, right? So hopefully that makes some sense to you. When the four comes up, it may mean that you're not about to get that pay rise, you're not about to get that promotion, but also you're not about to get laid off, you're not about to get, made redundant or demoted. It's like things are going to carry on ticking over for you as they are. And then in the future position, the future possibility, we've got Judgment. Now, Judgment is a card, normally you see the angel calling the souls of the dead up to heaven to be judged, right? Which is what we've got here. So you can see the angel calling the souls from their graves. I mean, this is a bit Dear Dylan Boite, or zombies, depending on which way you look at it. Excuse me. But this is reversed. And this is talking about you judging yourself quite harshly, right? And this is saying that actually there is this element where you are going to almost beat yourself up about something. So if that is that you haven't got that promotion or you haven't got that pay rise, you need to not judge yourself, right? Whatever's coming, try and be really, really kind to yourself, because this isn't judgment on others, right? If it was this way up, it would say that you are judging other people, you are judging the situation, you are literally the judgment in this card, you are that angel on high calling forth the souls. But this isn't that. This is you judging yourself really, really harshly, right? So whatever's going on, whatever this is about, give yourself some kindness and cut yourself some slack, because we're all doing the best we can right now, right? The world is a fucking scary place. There's a lot going on for a lot of us. There's a lot of turmoil, and a lot of thank you, Neil, a lot of hassle, a lot of problems that the world is facing. And all of us in a global scale, but all of us in a microcosm, in our own little lives, we're all feeling that uncertainty in various ways at the moment. So don't judge yourself, okay, my darling? Don't let yourself get in your headspace. You have this resilience. You are doing a fantastic job of keeping things going at the moment with this strength card. Don't let your own head, don't let your own negative thoughts judge you too harshly. Okay, my darling, I'm going to pull you we got another one that's around the wrong way there. I'm going to pull you an intuitive oracle card as well. Intuitive insights. I love this deck because it's in the shape of coffins, which with the judgment card seems appropriate. Right then, so do your cut, and we're going to burden. Right. Okay, so whatever it is you're doing, you are keeping things going right now. If it feels like a burden, then just kind of work out, are you doing this for the right reasons? Are you doing this for the greater good? Are you doing this to support yourself as well? Whatever's going on with this card, this resilience and strength, a burden is something that we can bear for a limited amount of time. So if you are having to bear this burden for a limited amount of time, then how can I put it? If you're able to keep going, this card is saying keep going. If you're not, if that burden is too heavy, and you can see with this pear, the actual twig is about to break because the burden is too much. If that is the case and you've got to let that burden go, then don't judge yourself. Okay, my darling, don't judge yourself. And again, this word comes with all sorts of emotional connotations, doesn't it? Sometimes things that we do freely can still be a burden. Looking after somebody that's ill, looking after a person who's perhaps going through some stuff themselves. Of course, you would do it in an instant, but again, it can feel like a burden. Hopefully you get my meaning from that. Anyway, Jack, I hope that helps, and thank you ever so much for your question, my darling, and thank you very much for coming in today. Let me just have a wee doodah. I'll change the camera. There we go. So yeah, thank you ever so much, Jack, for popping in today. I really do hope that helps. Right, let's look in the comment section. Thank you. No problem, my darling. Hi, Chrissy. Hello, my love. Debbie. Hello, Debbie. Is that? I think you're Debbie that I know out of YouTube, aren't you? Like in real life, Debbie. Oh, thank you, Jack. Thank you, my darling. I'm awesome. Awesome. I don't know what that song was. Awesome. So I need it on my soundboard. I need a little awesome. Yay, I do. I really, really do. But yeah, hopefully that helps, my darling Jack. And I would say keep going and keep doing what you're doing. But listen, also that bird card, sometimes it's okay to let them go, right? And if you have to do that, don't feel guilty about it, because again, as always, you have to be able to keep going for you to be able to keep going. Does that make sense? And sometimes, listen, it's the reason why on an aeroplane they tell you, if there is an emergency situation and the masks fall down, put your mask on first before helping the elderly, disabled child person next to you, right? You need your mask first, then you help them. Because if you are struggling to put that mask on that screaming person, child, whoever, and they have not got their mask on and the air pressure's gone, you will pass out before they've got their mask on, and they will pass out. It's much better for you to have your mask on secure. They pass out. You then put their mask on them. Then they wake up. Steward, flight attendant doesn't then have to worry about 2 unconscious people, because those 2 unconscious people are now 2 conscious people. Sometimes a burden can be too much. And if that is the case, it is okay to let that burden go. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that helps. Right. Okay. Let me have a look. It is that Debbie. Yay. I thought it was. Right. I don't know whether I've got a cold coming on or what, but I'm a little bit sinusy today. I do apologize. Right. Yeah, ZZ. How it works on the channel, right? There are 2 ways to get a reading. You either have to wait until I open up a free round, in which case you bung your question in with question at the front. You type your question in, and the keeper of the questions will pick one of them at random. Or you send it through as a super chat, and that will automatically come through and queue jump you. Okay, so that means the next person. So say right now, you send a super chat right now, you will be the next person. However, if Joe sends a super chat right now, Joe will be the next person, and then I'll open a free round. If you send a super chat and then Joe sends a super chat, I will read yours first, then I will read Joe's, and then I will open up a free round. That's how it works on this channel. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Right then, let's have a look. By the way, if you haven't already, please do hit that thumbs up button. It really does help the channel out no end. And if you haven't already, please do make sure you hit the subscribe button and change your bell to all. This is really important, right? YouTube has a habit at the moment of unsubscribing people. Sorry, my bloody phone keeps beeping. I thought I'd put it on airplane mode. Clearly not. Or what I might have done is just not press it properly. There we go. So yes, that is how it works on this channel. Okay. So I've got who did I have? I've got Debbie Furness has just sent a super chat. Debbie, thank you, my darling. What's your question, my darling? Because as I was just saying that, Debbie has now sent the super chat, so Debbie is now going to be the next person I read for, and then I will open up a free round after this. So what is your question, my darling? Good evening. Oh, we've got loads of new people just popping in. OAG, good evening. I hope you are well. What do I need to? You can get a reading like that. Absolutely, OAG. That is possible. Mitch S, good evening to you. Oh, hang on. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anybody, everybody, everywhere. Yay, I like that. Who else just popped it? I'm sure I just saw another name. Aisha. Yes. Hello, my darling. Good evening to you. So thank you very much. So yes, we've got a few people coming in now. So Deb's question, Debbie Furness's question is going to be up next. Before I do that, Debbie, I've got a little thing I'm gonna hit. So don't forget, everybody, we do on a Sunday evening, we have a members only live stream. Okay, every Sunday, 6 p.m. So that's 4 hours a month. We talk about anything and everything. I talked about a book that I am going to be reviewing at some point on the channel, and gave it as a recommendation. We do readings for members there as well. So if any of the members want a reading, it's an easy way to get one. And also members get videos early when I do the pre-recorded videos, apart from Witch Casket, but all the rest of them they get early. I do polls and all sorts of bits and pieces with the members. So if you would like to join our membership, here's how you can. Okay, just pouring myself my second coffee of the stream because we run on coffee on this channel. Absolutely. We used to have a thing on Buy Me a Coffee where it was called the Coffee Club, and now I've got both earrings in. Thank you, my darling Mitch. Even my earrings say Coffee Fiend. So yes, which is why the members, if you look at the members, they've got little coffee cups next to their names. That's why, you see, because we run on coffee here. Absolutely. So let's have a look. Debbie, a general reading for you, my darling. Okie dokie, no worries. Thank you, Neil. No worries, Debbie. I will do your reading right now. A general reading for Debbie. So then, your reading is coming up in 15 seconds' time. Okie dokie. So then, a general reading for Debbie. So once again, we cleanse the space. And we bring in the ever lovely Wispy. I'm sticking with this deck, you know. I do have the Fifth Spirit here as well. But because I am feeling a bit snotty, a bit change of season-y, I just wanted the rainbow deck because it's so bright and colourful. I love it. So that's the one we're using today. So then let's have a look. Thank you, Holland. Oh, I've got the best. Do you know what? This is the best space here on the interwebs. It really is. It's such a warm community, a lovely community. And listen, my mods are bloody amazing. I have the best friends. I really, really do. Like, just amazing. Even when I forget birthdays, because it was Holland's birthday on Sunday and I completely forgot. Even then, like, people are amazing. Shut up, Lisa. You're gonna get weepy. I know, right? Shut up, Lisa. Shut up, Lisa. Right, Wispy. Where's the... Oh, I was about to say, where's the question gone? It's a general reading for Debbie. Right, so then, Wispy. Debbie wants a general reading, please. We'll have a look at that for you. We've had a card jump, Debbie. It's the Nine of Swords. Bollocks. It's right. Okay, not a great card. This is coming up. This is officially, no, this is your clarifying or modifying card, okay? And what this means is this is the lens that the next three cards are going to be read through, if you like. So this colors them a bit like when you're a kid and you get the Quality Street wrapper and you look through it and everything goes a bit purple or a bit pink. This is, they don't do that anymore, do they? Now they've got the new wrappers. But anyway, this card is going to change the other three cards. So whenever a card drops, that is when we do your cuts. So then, Debs, where you are right now, what you need to know and what the future outcome is. Right. So first of all, let's talk about the Nine of Swords. Why did my soul fall to the bottom of my shoes right then? Because the Swords is your trouble and strife card, okay? So that is hurdles, challenges, difficulties. The Nine is full. I say it every single time I do a stream. The nines are full, the tens are overflowing. So this Nine of Swords, you can see why it's called the Nightmare card, because this person is awake. They're supposed to be sleeping in bed. They have woken up, or maybe they can't even get to bed. They've got their lovely, you know, because we all wear nightcaps to bed, don't we? That's what we do these days. But they have woken up, or they are still awake with all of these thoughts, all of these negative words, negative thoughts, all of this stuff going around their head. They're so troubled and tormented, they're unable to sleep or unable to get to sleep, right? That is what the Nine represents. It is literally the Nightmare card. This coming up reversed means that for me, I think this situation, whatever you've got going on in your life right now, it's almost like everything around you is causing nightmares. It's not necessarily your fault at the center. Does that make sense? The reason I'm saying that is because if it was upright, you would have some autonomy there. You would have some say on what was happening. But because it is reversed, it's like this is other people's trauma, other people's happenings that you are stressing over with and that you are stuck with. Okay, so that colors all of these cards. So the Four of Pentacles, where you are now, Pentacles is all about work, career, finances. So, and 4 is about stability. So this is saying that your financial situation at the moment is kind of stuck, right? It's not improving. It's not getting terribly worse. It's just stuck. It's like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward. Do you know what I mean? It's like you win £100 on the lottery, yay, and then a bill comes in for £99.74, and you go, okay, well, I can pay that, so that's good, but I wasn't expecting that bill, so I hadn't budgeted for it anyway, so I'm neither better off nor, the money's come in and gone out on the same day, and I'm still no better off or no worse off than I was when I woke up this morning. Even though I've had an unexpected bill and a lottery win, I'm still, I'm up 24 pence or whatever I said. It's that sort of vibe that this card is giving off, right? So it's neither positive nor negative. And again, when it comes to this 9 of Swords, it's like you need it to be growing. You need the financial element to be increasing for things to get better. And at the moment, it's just staying the same, which is okay, because at least it isn't in free fall. Do you know what I mean? At least it isn't. Everything is getting worse. It's like you're still able to keep a roof over your head and put food on the table, but that's about it. You aren't in a position where you're in a tent, in a field, or living out of your car or whatever it is. But equally, you're not in a position where you're able to put any money aside for a holiday. It's like, literally 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, in that holding pattern. What you need to know, what did I say about the 9 is full, the 10 is overflowing? The 10 of Pentacles, overflowing with money, right? It's reversed. It's reversed. And because it's reversed, it's because it's Holland, you're a bugger. Because it's reversed, I think, hang on, Wispy, give me that again. Right, okay. In this instance, in the what you need to know, I think this is talking about either a big bill that is coming or a big bill that you're aware of, that the reason this worry is here is because there isn't this sudden amount of, you haven't got an uptick in finances. Whatever this 10 of Pentacles is, and this is why I'm saying it's reversed, right? That's why I'm saying it goes into the negative column, because of this reversal. If it was this way up, money's coming. This way up, money's needed, money's going, right? But this is saying that money isn't increasing, right? You've got the same. It's like the same income. That's what you're earning. That's what's coming in. That is it, right? And this very much is saying that there is a big bill or a big outlay, either around the corner or something that you're aware of right now, right? So it's either to come or it's already here. I think it's probably already here because of its placement, because it's in the what you need to know. And the thing is, this feels very much like, with the 10 being overflowing, it's almost like what's the film called? The Money Pit. Where, is it Tom Hanks? I don't know if it's Tom Hanks. Somebody buys a house. In my head, it's Tom Hanks and When Harry Met Sally woman. I can't remember who they are. Can't remember. But anyway, whoever it is, they buy a house and they think it's going to be a relatively easy job of doing it up. and it ends up being like they throw thousands after thousands after thousands, and it still costs them a fortune. It's kind of like that. So whatever this 10 of Pentacles represents, I don't think it's the house. It could be the house, to be honest, because that's why Wispy's given me that film. But it's like expense after expense after expense, and this being on a sort of a relatively stable footing isn't enough for this, if that makes sense. In the future, we've got the Star. Now, the Star for me isn't great in this context. Okay, so quite often the Star is used to represent wishing and we're wishing on a star. That's the connotations that come in. However, the star itself is kind of wishy-washy, right? Because it's just wishing. And this is saying is saying that you are, oh, how can I put it without being offensive? Fuck it, right? This is you wishing that things will get better without necessarily doing anything. Do you know what I mean? And it's like you need to try and put a plan in place. Whatever this financial succubus, if you like, is, whatever this money pit is, it's really saying that you need to get a plan. You need to get some advice. You need to speak to a financial advisor or CAB or whoever, and actually get some advice on dealing with this, because this isn't going to change. Right. And this wishful thinking, like this is almost like going into a casino and betting on red. Don't do it, because you can't afford to lose. Right. And this is that wishful thinking. It's like, I wish. Buying a lottery ticket ain't going to fix this. Throwing a coin in the fountain ain't going to fix this. Wishes in this case are worth nothing unless you turn that wish into a goal. Right. That's when things change. So you turn that wish into a goal by putting plans in place, and that is going to be a nightmare, right? And it's going to be a situation that you're going to have to get real with. You're going to have to face completely honestly and deal with the absolute authentic truth behind a situation. But once you start tackling that and you basically say, right, this, say for example, this is a £10,000 debt, right? That's come out of nowhere. It's something that was forgotten or whatever, and it suddenly appeared, and now you've got to pay it off, right? You go, oh shit, I haven't got 10 grand. You can't bury your head in the sand with this, right? You've got to find a way of doing it. So this is where you turn that wish into a goal by basically saying, right, let's go and speak to a financial advisor. Let's speak to CAB. Let's speak to independent whoever's. Let's come up with a plan. Either we pay it off in little bits, or, is it that I actually owe that 10,000, or is it that they've added in £5,000 worth of fees that we can get taken off? When you speak to that money savings expert guy on the telly, it's like there are things you can do. So whatever this outlay is, there are things that you need to do to put a plan into place. Stop wishing it will get better and start taking the action. Turn that into a goal, right? That's really, really important, Debbie. Really, really, really seriously, Deb's really, really, really important. Really, really super important. Right, I'm going to cut you a Intuitive Insights Oracle card as well. So let's have a look. We have Endurance. Yeah, this ain't going to happen anytime soon, right? Get a plan in place, a long-term plan, whatever it is. You owe the tax man, you owe the bank, you whatever the hell it is, student loans, car loans, house loans, whatever it is. Get some financial advice, right? This endurance means it's going to happen over a long period of time. There's going to be a lot of dealing with this is going to take time and effort. Does that make sense? Right. It's also, to be honest with you, it's also going to be a continuing problem for a while, right? Because this nightmare card has come up. But once this becomes a goal, this to some extent goes away, right? Because this is in the future and this is in the present. So once this is in place, once you've got a plan of action, whatever that plan of action is, however harsh it is, once that plan is sorted, you can then make further plans around it. Does that make sense? Instead of it being, oh my God, I've got a £10,000 debt, it will become, oh my God, I've got a £5,500 debt, and actually we're paying this off at, you know, £50 a month, or whatever it is, £500 a month, you know, whatever it is you're able to put into place. It becomes less worrisome, less nightmare, and the situation will resolve. I hope that makes some sort of sense, Debs. I really do. I don't know why the hell Wispy gave me the money pit. And I'm not even sure it's Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan. Is that the one? I don't think it is. This is where neither of them are in that film. And it's actually Chevy Chase and Joan Collins. Anyway, I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really, really do. Let me have a look in that there chat. So OAG, yours is coming up straight after this, my darling. Hang on. Where? Hi, Nida. Gosh, hang on. All the way back. Hello, Jay. Hi, Nibbling. How are you doing? I'm glad you could type today. I don't know what was up the other night then. That's very, very strange. Very strange. Good evening to Iman Mizugi as well. Good evening to you. Welcome to the channel. Welcome for joining. It wouldn't let you type the other night. No, it wouldn't. It's such a pretty deck. It is. It's very Rider-Waite based, but then also very plain. So you kind of have to know. You have to know the deck it's based on to be able to do the finessed readings, if you get my meaning. Did I say good evening to Nidar? I don't know whether I did, but yes, good evening to Nidar. Ellis, good evening to Ellis. Hello, my love. Absolutely spot on so far. Yes, I got a picture of a recording studio type setup with a pussycat sat in front of it. Quite a handsome looking pussycat, actually, I must say. Very, very good looking pussycat with the what has now been put in the mod chat, the cone of shame on its neck, but instead of it being one of those big plastic cones that looks like a plastic cone, this looks like an orange. So it looks like the cat has put their head through a slice of orange. So you've got all the segments. Apparently it's a soft cone because the cat's been poorly. But yes, that did distract me ever so slightly because I was like, what's that? The expense is the car. Okay, that makes sense. Shelley Duvall. No, she was in The Shining. Shelley Long. Is it? Oh, and it was Tom Hanks. Hello, Dormouse. It is Tom Hanks. Who's? I don't remember it. I honestly don't remember it. You call your car the money pit. That would be why I got the bloody film then. That would be why Wispy sent me the film. I don't know. I think I've seen it. I must have seen it. I think I got it on video back in the days of video rentals when that was a thing. We talked about that on Sunday. Your mum loved it. Yeah, I bet she rented it from the video shop, didn't she? It'll be in this. Let me have a look. You totally don't have 2 new piercings, which means you do. So what did you get then? Where did you get your piercings? Tom Hanks and Shelley Long. I don't know who Shelley Long is. I thought it was Meg Ryan. Let's have a look. Makes a lot of sense. There's a lot going on right now. Oh, my darling. Just keep listen, get a plan in place, right? Get a plan in place. It's going to take a while to get things sorted, but get that plan in place. And then things will move a lot faster and a lot smoother. So yeah, get that plan in place, my darling. Is that everybody? Have I said Aisha? Good evening to Aisha. You're a new subscriber, my darling. That's lovely. I'm going to be opening up a free round after the next reading. So I do have OAG's reading in. Let me have a look. Oh, yeah, I got a question. Thank you. I got sent the question through. So let's have a look. It is, thank you, Neil. Neil's posted it in the chat again, so I'll have to scroll back up so I can still see the picture of the lovely pussycat. I'm so easily distracted. What's a vertical libret and industrial? What's that? What is that? A vertical libret. Where's that? I know piercing positions. I know Prince Albert. I know Guiche. I know nipples. I know this bit here. I used to know the name of that. Cuff. Labia. Lip. That bit there. I can't remember what that's called. I used to know these things. Anyway. Oh, a lip. There you go. Oh, an industrial is the bar through 2 parts of the year. Oh, yeah, where it goes like that across. Okay, cool. Right, OAG. I've got your reading up. Let's get your thingy on. So then, this is a reading for OAG, and yours is going to take place in exactly 15 seconds. If I can find the spacer. There we go.
We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God!
Right then, OAG wants a general reading, but with a focus on what do I need to hear. So that's what we're going to do for you, my darling. Cleansing the space as always and bringing in the ever lovely Wispy. Wispy, Wispy, Wispy. Wispy's on form tonight. I'm telling you, he really, really is. So Wispy, OAG wants to know, what do they need to know? A general reading, but specifically, what does OAG need to know? What does OAG need to know? Let's have a look. There we go. We're going to do an inverted V as well. Inverted V, an inverted triangle. Let's have a look. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. La la la. Put up with my singing. La la la. La la la. Wispy. We're doing where you are now. Right. Hang on. Let me change camera. I need a thing. I'm going to record this, right? Because OAG. This card has just come up. Now, this does not mean death. It says death. It does not mean death. This is not somebody in your life is about to snuff it. You are not about to kick the bucket. This is not somebody in your life is about to unalive or be unalived or to, you know, mysteriously unalive overnight because they're poorly. This is none of that, right? Nobody is unaliving in relation to this card. This card is about a transition. This card is about the end of a chapter, the opening of a new one. Okay, this is a butterfly stepping out of the chrysalis. So as far as a butterfly is concerned, it might have, we don't know, it might have memories of being a caterpillar, but it is a new creature. A butterfly, look at a butterfly, look at a caterpillar. They are very different creatures. For one, one's got loads of legs, one's got 4 or whatever it is, right? Where do those other legs go? I don't understand that, right? Never have been able to understand it. Caterpillar, small, wormy type thing. Butterfly, amazing big wings. Where were those wings in the caterpillar? I do not understand that transmutation, that magical, metaphysical change. But that is what this card is representing, right? It represents that transformation, that transmutation of self, that ability to transcend one life in terms of, you know, I don't know, you've always been a veterinarian, right? Into actually you're now training to be a stuntman. Very different lives. One is ending because you're no longer dealing with animals, and one is moving forward because now you are a stuntman, right? Different. And that is really important. This is about a change, not about an ending. Technically it's the ending of a chapter, right? It's not the ending of the book. I've got to make that abundantly clear. This is nothing to do with somebody's passing over or somebody's life coming to its ultimate end. Okay, just please bear that in mind. Invariably with tarot readings, when the death or devil card come up, that is all people remember. So people go away and go, oh, I got a tarot reading last night, it was really good. It was about, oh, I don't really remember what it was about, but the death card came up and the devil card came up, and I'm a little bit scared, but where actually the reading is all about growth and change and this amazing future, and all that people remember is, I think I've been cursed by the devil because the death card came up, and I think that I don't remember what they said, but I think it's not about that, right? Just bear that in mind. Right, back to the reading. So the death card has come up reversed in the where you are at the moment, right? So obviously, unless you are a zombie, unless you are very well known for having been injected with a green glowing goo and have then been reanimated, then that is not, you're not, you know what I mean? You're not the Walking Dead, right? So that is not what is happening. This is why it's a transitional card. So what you need to know, Page of Cups, what is coming up in your future? 5 of Pentacles. Okay, linking the reverse death card to the Page of Cups, we have the Magician reversed. Interesting. Linking the Page of Cups to the 5 of Pentacles, we have the 2 of Wands reversed. A few reversals, and the root of the information that you need right now is the Knight of Cups. Right, emotions, my darling. So the death card reversed, what does that mean? Well, I pretty much just said it all, haven't I? This is talking about that change. This is a time of change and transformation in your life, right? There is something big happening. There is something that you need to alter. There is something here that is, it's your time to shift, right? The thing is, I don't know whether you are recognizing that at the moment, right? Because this is reversed. It's almost like the universe is trying to drop hints and trying to tell you that, oh, now's the time. You know, that thing you always wanted to do, let's go and do it. Do you know what I mean? Like that thing that you wanted, that change that you were after, like let's do it. Let's make it happen now. Like, you can join that gym now. Let's do it. And you're like, oh, I don't know if maybe I can't be bothered. Maybe I'll do it. This is a really positive time. If there is something in your life that is fundamental to a big deal that you are wanting to change or shift, this is the moment to do it, because this is saying that, look, it's here, it's now. The reversal is really saying, hello, like we've given you the sign. Let's go ahead now. It's a bit like you're sat at the traffic lights and it's on green and you're still sat there. The car's behind going, beep, beep, and you're just sat there. It's like, come on, it's time to make that change now. Move forward in your life. Let's start this new chapter. And this is a reticence to start that change. In the what you need to know, Page of Cups. This is an interesting card. Cups is about emotion. So normally we talk about love and relationships and things like that. The page is youthful energy, naive, innocent energy. Now, this is really talking about you moving forward, and you, I don't know whether this is you. Sorry, I just got distracted. I don't know whether this is you in that innocence, kind of, you know, how can I put it? it's giving virgin energy, right? Let's put it that way. So I don't know whether that is a thing. It doesn't mean that you are still a virgin, but it's giving that innocence. And this is in the what you need to know, right? So it's almost suggesting that whatever this transformation is, if it is to move forward maybe in that way, then if you've got a partner that's also up for it, then the time might be right for you. But also, if that isn't a situation that you can relate to right now, because that's already happened, then the page is talking about that. How can I put it? Either a new relationship or a new. How can I put this? Wispy, help me out here. Moving forward innocently, right? So maybe, okay, thank you, Wispy. Right, maybe move forward. So if you're looking for a relationship, then take the physical out of that equation and move forward, get to know someone. Does that make sense? Right? If there's been issues in the past, then just get to know somebody without sex being on the table, without that being an issue. So you take that completely off and you just learn about somebody else. You get to know someone, you get to know and explore feelings and emotions rather than having it be something physical. I don't know if that makes sense to you, OAG, but it's literally what Wispy is giving me. I don't know why that is coming up at all. I really don't know why that is coming up. I'm going to pull an oracle card in a minute. But we do have the future position. We've got the 5 of Pentacles. This is talking about there being some turmoil in the financial element, right? So the financial side of your life, work, career, finances. It's something where there may well be a little bit of a rocky future coming up work-wise, right? It isn't completely bad, but it also isn't great. Because it's the 5, we're talking about, you can see these 2 people are out in this is supposed to be snow, but they're out in the snow shivering. A lot of times the 5 of Pentacles is in front of like a church window, or in church of a large house with a giant window, and you've got people outside in the snow, poor people begging, and you've got the wealth being through the other side of the window. That's not quite depicted that way in this card, but you've still got this element of this is a tree growing this wealth, growing money is there, but yet there is this element of not having enough to eat, being poor, being and struggling. There are 2 potential definitions, 2 potential meanings for this card. One is saying that it may be time for you to help others in this instance, right? So that although there's a little bit of turmoil, if you are still able to help those less fortunate than yourself, that is going to go incredibly well for your journey, right? Or if you are in a situation where the financial turmoil is really causing some hardship, for you to actually go and get some support, get some help. If you need to go to a food bank, go to a food bank. People who are in reasonably well-paying jobs are finding themselves in food banks at the moment. I know of police officers and nurses and people with distinguished careers who are ending up having to feed themselves and their families through food banks because all of their money is going on the bills and the mortgage and everything else, and there is no money left for food. So if that is the situation that you find yourself in, do not be proud about, do not be too proud to go, if that makes sense. But equally, if you are able to pay those bills, it may be that you are able to help others. Depending on your situation, how that's going, you're the only one who's going to know that, if that makes sense. Right, let's go to the next level down. We've got the magician. The magician is also reversed. Now, the magician reverse talks about manipulation, right? So there is something here. The magician upright, again, a major arcana card. The magician upright is amazing because it's talking about you having the ability to change your life. You've got all of the tools to create life around you. You've got the sword, you've got the pentacle, you've got the cup, and you've got the wands, right? So literally every suit is here on the desk. You've got that ability to make a wish into reality, to make manifest the things that you want out of life. When it's reversed, it's talking about either you manipulating a situation or possibly being manipulated, right? Not having all of the facts. And it's interesting that this is linking that change with this naivety. I think this is something. Thank you, Wispy. Naivety was the word I was looking for. I think whatever's happening, this change that's happening in your life, I think there's some naivety here. And I think you need to be careful because this death card is reversed, it may well be a change that is happening to you, right? It may well be something that you are signing off on, right? So there could be something, say, for instance, work is getting reshuffled and you're going to move departments and you think that's fine, you're just going to move on the same contract, just sign this, okay, OAG, done, thank you very much. Oh no, now you're on a completely different contract, your salary has been halved and you don't get any holidays and you don't get any health insurance. It's something like that. Don't be naive in this instance, right? Because this changes this feeling very definitely. I don't think this is you making this change. I honestly think this is something that's happening around you. Double check everything. Double check all contracts. Make sure the I's are crossed and the T's are dotted. The Two of Wands, possibly a friend doing you wrong. It could be a work colleague doing you wrong. But this Two of Wands, twos are about people coming together, partnerships, relationships, work colleagues, whatever that is, friends. It's about two people coming together. When it's reversed, it's kind of the opposite. People are going their separate ways, but it can also denote a period of, being told that the grass is blue and the sky is green by somebody. Do you know what I mean? It's like somebody's come into your life, but maybe they're speaking with a forked tongue, especially when you've got this innocence card leading into this financial turmoil. Following on from these two, there's something here that is beginning to feel, the deeper we go, it's beginning to feel a bit more dodgy around this change, right? So just be really mindful, because at the root of it, we've got the Knight of Cups. This is a card. The Knights are very much, they are the ones that are first to jump. They are the ones that go off half-cocked. The Knights are the ones, the king says, oh, I fancy go looking for this holy grail I've heard tale of. Do you know if it's real? No. Do you know anything about it? No. Have you even seen a picture of it? No. How do you know it exists? How do you know it's a thing? Because someone told me in the pub when I was drunk and they said it's in Syria. So let's go. And the knight's like, okay, that makes perfect sense. Yes, Your Honor. Here we go. I'm on the horse. I'm off. Do you know what I mean? The knights act really quickly. Cups, they're really emotional. This is acting on emotions. A massive unexpected change, being manipulated, being really quick to act and not think things through, being acting on your emotions rather than any sensible, logical kind of reason for change. That is worrying, particularly when it goes to the Two of Wands. This is confidence. Two is confidence, but it's reversed. So your confidence is being undermined. Somebody somewhere is telling you something that isn't necessarily true because they're doing it for their own reasons, because they are the one that's potentially manipulating, leading to a financial turmoil and potential burden. This does not look good, my darling. This does not look good. Be very mindful of making sudden snap changes that you are not full of any of the information, right? Be very, very mindful. If there's something going on at work, if there is something happening where you are being asked to make some big, significant changes in your life, ask questions. Make sure you've got all of the facts. Don't be manipulated, right? Especially by someone who seems to be on your side, right? Be very, very careful. Your oracle card, temptation. Here we go. Somebody is going to speak very, but just look, OAG. Just listen. If you give up your position as director of the company and you become, you know, a higher management rather than a director, well, that means you can go back on the road, and that means that you can earn so much more money, and then you'll get commission, and then you'll be able to do all of these things that you can't do now. You'll have it will work out so well for you, right? You'll be able to have all of this free time again. You'll be able to do all of these lovely things. Actually, what it means is that you'll be no longer able to get the same benefits. You'll suddenly become self-employed and have to work 50 hours a week, whereas before you were working 30. Do you know what I mean? That temptation will lead you down to this. That temptation, right? Here's temptation. You act really quickly on emotions, believe what that person says, and it ends up in financial turmoil. Be bloody careful, OAG. Be really careful. Don't believe anything. Don't sign anything. Don't do anything until you take advice, and make bloody sure that there is not someone talking to you and getting you to do something for their own reasons. Okay, I hope that makes sense, my darling. Thank you for your donation. Yeah, I listen. Forewarned is forearmed, right? Forewarned is forearmed. At least now, if you start being told something and there's a little somebody whispering in your ear, at least now you're able to say, oh, sounds a little bit too good to be true. Maybe this is what Lisa was talking about. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully that helps. Thank you very much for your question. And yeah, let's have a look in that there chat. So gosh, where do we go back? We've got a free round coming, everybody. A free round coming. Oh, lip. Hang on, we'll talk about that. Good evening, Shirley. I thought it was a scaffold as well, Ed. That piercing that goes from there to there. I've always called it. No, hang on. It goes from there to there. Yeah, I've always called it a scaffold as well. Transformation. Yeah, reaping the harvest. Possibly, but it was reversed. Second suit's better. Okay. SK, good evening, my darling. Oh, I'm sorry you're a bit knacked. Oh gosh, Wolf Boyo. Hi peeps. Hi Wolf Boyo. You didn't get a notification until late. Check your bell, everybody. I keep saying it. Check your notification bell. Make sure you dong that bell and change your settings to all. That way YouTube should notify you. Also, if you are watching this, double check you're subscribed at all, because it could well be that actually YouTube has helpfully unsubscribed you. That's a thing. I know, right? Why would YouTube do that? You would think it is counter productive for them, but they are very, very good at unsubscribing people. Right, I've just seen, I've got a thank you, I've got a super chat that's just popped in. Thank you, Neil. No problem, OAG. Listen, best of luck, my darling, best of luck. Harshita Chakrabarti. Chakrabarti. Harshita Chakrabarti, you're moving for a job. Is it good? How is your career going? Okay, let me have a look. You will now get the next reading, my darling. So if we've got time, there will be a reading after this. I might get time to do a quick 3-card after this, but this is for Harshita. I believe this is a 3-card reading, and yeah, you are coming up straight after this wee message. I did show you this earlier, right? This is by Necronomicon, the Necronomicon fanzine. This is a piece of history right here. So my friend Neil, right, who is in the chat as Necro Neil, my friend Neil discovered a few years ago a logbook that his parents had kept from the 1980s, essentially, all the way through their video rentals, right? And it was one of these, a Lion brand folder, little notebook, and they wrote down all of their rentals and they kept it, and they gave a little rating to each one, right? So that basically is now became this. So this is Neil going back and reviewing each of those videos in the style. Look, there's the original Lion Brand. If you're old and British, you'll remember this. But they kept records of all the videos, and this is Neil going back and reviewing all of they're mainly horror films, all of those horror films, and giving his reviews and comparing it to what his parents thought. It's absolutely incredible. It's a piece of history. So do please check this out. And this is available from the Necronomicon site. So I'll give you this. If you don't know what Necronomicon is, it is a horror fanzine. Perfect if you like those films that I love, like Toxic Avenger and Reanimator and all of those really, really, really fun old horror films before they became torture porn and things like that. So do please go and check Necronomicon. Harshita, your reading's coming up straight after this.
Legend has it that it was written by the Dark Ones.
It is coming. Necronomicon. Strange tales of the supernatural and the unearthly when the fabled Necronomicon unleashes its ancient secrets.
The secrets of the Necronomicon do not come cheap.
Necronomicon.
What's in the basket? Easter eggs?
Just realized I had that up throughout the whole thing. But Neil, put the link. There we go. Neil's put the link just there. Look. So that is the link to go and get Necronomicon and my parents' video rental logbook. I've enjoyed reading through this. The one that I keep coming back to because it's really funny is Neil's review of Halloween 2, where he basically just says, "Oh, hang on, where I will find it." Yeah, so basically he calls Dr. Loomis a nutter, right? And then it's just funny. It's just funny. But yes, let me go ahead and I'm going to do the reading for Harshita. Do check out Necronomicon if you haven't already. Also, our other moderator at Holland M here on YouTube, go and check out their channel as well. As I discussed it earlier, it's a very cool, very lovely, relaxing, chilled out channel. I love it. I really do. Right then, Harshita, your reading is coming up right now.
We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God!
Also, I've been told there were adverts running midway through the live. That shouldn't really be happening. That's a YouTube thing. I need to double check that. It shouldn't be happening on the lives. I've got it set to not happen. On replay, that's fine because YouTube does that, but it shouldn't be happening on the live. So I will double check that. So sorry if you've been bugged with YouTube adverts as well as the little videos that I play for in-house stuff. Right then, so Harshita, let's do your cleansing of the area. There we go. And bring in Wispy for you. So then, Wispy, Harshita Chakraborty is looking for or is moving for a job. Is this good? Is this a good move? And how is her career going to go? So how is Harshita's career going to go as they move for a new job? Let's have a look for you, my darling. There we go. So then, okay. Oh, interesting. Right then. So we have where you are right now. We have the Magician again, and it's popped up reversed again. So again, it's talking about perhaps a little bit of manipulation going on, a little bit of, is everything your choice? how can I? Is this entirely your choice to move? Right, that would be the question. Is this entirely what you want to do, or is there something else going on in the background here? It's raising a question, and it's raising a question that sits a little bit uncomfortably. But is it one of those where you're moving for a chance of a job, or is this where you are actually moving for work? You know, you're I don't know, the bank you work for is moving you from this branch to that branch, or moving you from, you know, this department to that department. Is it something where you're moving with the career, or are you hoping to start something where you move to? That's the question. If it's the latter, be careful, because this card is well known for effectively promising to change your life for the better, and it may not be entirely that way, right? So if this is the former, where you are moving to a new to a new job, that's kind of fine. If you're moving to try and find a job, be careful, right? Be careful. If you're moving, listen, if you're moving to a new city, right, with no prospects, no contacts, and you just hope that the job market there is more favorable than where you are, then I would say be bloody careful, and maybe delay moving and try and set up a job in that city, right? I did this many years ago. I moved from where I was born. I moved to Leeds here in the UK, where I still am now, and I moved up without any job. But I knew, because I had a history of working in bars and pubs and clubs, I knew that I should be able to get a job in a pub fairly fast. But when I first moved up, I organized a house, so I had somewhere to stay. I got all of that sorted. I had saved enough money for the first couple of months' rent and the deposit, so I knew that I would be able to afford to live there for a couple of months. As soon as I got to Leeds, I went to a job agency and I took any job at all that they were offering. So I did all sorts of crappy jobs. I moved 5 or 10 kilogram, 20 kilogram bags of popcorn kernels from a pallet in a truck to a pallet on the floor. That was my job. I put inserts into a newspaper, so a little bit like, where did I see them in here? A little bit like this, right? My job was to, when the printing went down, my job was to open up a newspaper, put leaflets in, close the newspaper, put it on a stack. And I did that overnight. So it was like I started work at midnight and I would finish at 4 or 4:30 in the morning. That was me knowing, and I did that for about a month before I got the job in the pub. That then was that was my career at the time. But I knew that there would be jobs available if I just kept searching. And I had that fallback position of, if I can't find a job in a pub within the next 2 or 3 months, at least I've got this other work lined up where it's enough to cover my rent. That is what you need to do. If you're just moving and hoping that you'll be able to work somewhere, be very careful of that. Be very careful, my darling, because that is ringing all sorts of alarm bells in my head, right? Be careful. What you need to know, okay? The Knight of Wands. Wands are confidence. Knights are the ones who make those jumps, right? They jump in with both feet. The Knight would be me at the age of 20, moving to Leeds, moving hundreds of miles away from my family, hundreds of miles away from everything I knew, for a chance to maybe get a job in a different city, because I didn't like the city I was born in. And I took that gamble. In retrospect, it was a massive gamble, but I had the safety net of knowing if it all went wrong, I could move back down south and move in with my parents. So at least I had that safety net. I don't know whether you've got that safety net, but this Knight of Wands is talking about that jump, right? This is that moment. This is that step. This is you changing cities. The cards are screaming at me. I don't think you've got a job to go to. I don't think this is a moving department situation. I think this is you making that jump in the hope of something new. This is reversed. So, oh God, I just need to say it. Right. These cards are telling me it's a huge mistake, my darling. They're telling me it's a huge, huge, huge mistake. Unless you've got something sorted, right? This is going to be a huge mistake because it feels like this jump is really impulsive, right? Be really careful. Be really careful about this. What you need to know, the Knight of Wands. Wands is confident. Knight is jumping in both feet first without, treading where angels fear to tread, all of that. This is really talking about, taking that huge risk. It may pay off. It did for me. However, both of these cards are suggesting it's going to be a really hard time when you're there. The one saving grace in this, right? The one saving grace is you have the Justice card coming up in your future position, right? Excuse me, my throat is going. I think I'm coming down with a cold or something. But anyway, this Justice card is let me play the animation. So Justice is talking about things going right. It's talking about a legal matter. So if there is anything legal, if you're, perhaps you're hoping to go into the legal profession, in which case this is really, really well suited. Whatever it is, it kind of feels like things will come your way eventually. But this journey to things getting your way, I think this is going to be hard, right? I think career-wise, long-term, it will pay off, right? Long-term, it will pay off. Excuse me for guessing or assuming your gender, but in the photo, you appear to be fairly young and female. Be careful, right? Be careful, because it would be awful if you were to be taken advantage of, if you know what I mean. If you don't have things set up and it isn't a move to a new department, right? Be very careful, my darling. There are lots of people who move to big cities in the hope of, new starts and new careers that end up in all sorts of difficult positions. So be careful. Again, if I'm wrong, if you identify as other than female, then again, be careful. But again, I apologize for assuming. But the Justice card does feel like things will go your way in the long run. It just might take a little bit of time for you to get there. All right, my darling. Listen, I'm going to pull you an oracle card. Whichever way things happen, whichever way the cards are suggesting, I wish you nothing but the very, very best here, right? I hope to the bottom of my very, very heart, to my core, I hope this goes well for you. Battles, I think it's going to be a struggle, right? This is reiterating these two cards. I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle for you. Please make sure you've got a fallback position. Please make sure you've got a safety net. And please make sure that you do this, like the common sense safe things, right? If you're going for an interview and you don't know exactly what's happening, make sure that you ring someone before you go into the building and you ring someone when you leave the building, right? Do those safety steps. It might seem that everything can be trusted, but there is a certain element of trickery going on with the Magician reversed, right? So I once had a job interview. I turned up for that job interview for a bartender for a bar person in a pub, a server in a pub. It was actually a nightclub, but I turned up for that interview, and the owner of the nightclub basically was dressed in a dressing gown, which was half open, leaving everything on view. And he said to me, "I'll be ready in a few minutes. If you want to watch something, just, the machine's there. I just need to make a couple of phone calls. Just press play on whatever the movie is." And I pressed play, and it was an adult film. Now, nowadays, I would get myself out of there, call the police, do all of that, because it was, massive red alerts. At the time, I was so uncertain of what to do, so immature, so incredibly naive about the world, that I sat there, stopped the video, and then I still sat there and did an interview with this creep, right? I ended up getting the job. I didn't do anything with him. And my mum's friend knew him, so it was kind of like, if you try touching me, I will speak to my mum, and her friend will absolutely come down on you like a ton of bricks, and we will get the police and blah blah blah. But in the end, I got the job because I had a bucket load of experience. Would I put myself in that situation these days? Absolutely not. And this is what I'm saying to you, my darling, right? If you go for a job interview, tell somebody else the place you're going, tell them the time of the interview, tell them you'll ring them an hour after that time, and if they don't hear from you within 90 minutes, to give you a ring. Do all of those basic safety things, right? And I think you'll be okay. But it does feel like it's going to be a struggle. It will pay off in the long run, but it does feel like it's going to be a struggle. Please, please, please keep yourself safe, my darling. That's all I'm saying. I hope that helps. Thank you ever so much for your donation, Hashita. And thank you very much for being here with us this evening. Thank you to all of the subscribers. And of course, a huge whopping great big cuddly loves and hello to the moderators. So thank you so much, mods, for being here this evening and for helping to keep this channel running, because literally without the mods I am not able to do what I do. Let me have a look. Oh, you are starting new. Oh, please be careful. Make sure you're careful, my darling. Make sure you're careful. Please make sure you're careful. You have, okay, you have a backup and everything planned with contacts. Still make sure you do the thing where you give your mum 3 rings. All of that thing that we used to do. If you're young, you won't know what that was. But back in the days of landlines, if you when you went out somewhere, you would give your mum 3 rings when you got home. So even if you weren't living at home, basically, if you would say, for example, I'd say to my mum, "Oh, I'm going out tonight," and she'd say, "Give me 3 rings when you get in." And it'd be a case of, "Mum, but I might not be in till like 2 o'clock in the morning." "Oh, it doesn't matter. Give me 3 rings." And your mum would be waiting until she gets those 3 rings, and you would basically ring the number, ring, 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 and then you hang up. And it was just a way of letting your mum know you were home safe. Do that with a friend or a parent or a guardian or just anybody, a sibling, anybody in your life that you can trust. Do that 3 rings thing, right? So you or just send a butt dial or a text just saying that you, again, we had to do 3 rings before texts were a thing. But yeah, just make sure. Okay, I hope that helps, my darling. I really do hope it helps. But that is the last reading tonight, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. If you wanted a reading, I'm so sorry we didn't get to do, I think we did 1, maybe 2 free readings, maybe 1 during that entire during tonight's entire stream, but that is because we had a lot of super chats in. So as I always say, the best way to guarantee your reading is to send a super chat of any amount, and that will get you your reading at the front of the queue. It will queue jump you effectively. So even if you don't have bucket loads of money, like literally any amount, 50p, $1, that will guarantee your place in that there queue. If you want a longer reading, that's where the $8, $10 sort of comes into play. You remember 3 Rings Dormouse? Oh, even, do you know, it was even when, like, I'd be, like, when I moved out, I would go and visit my mum and dad, like go over for Sunday dinner or something. So I'll go over for Sunday dinner, and then I'll go, right then, I'm off now. I'm going to get the bus home. All right, love you. Bye. See you later. Bye. Love you. Bye. 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 And mum would still say, give me 3 rings when you get in. I'm like, mum, I'm literally walking across to the library where the bus stop is. And I'm getting off the bus 2 seconds from my flat. Just make sure you give me 3 rings. Otherwise I'd worry. And I would leave the house, get on the bus, get off the bus half an hour later and be in my house and pick up my phone, my old landline, ring, on the rotary telephone, because, you know, I'm that old. Ring. Hello, mum, I'm giving you 3 rings. Well, just want to know you're home safely. Yes, but mum, I'm giving you 3 rings. You're not supposed to answer. But I just wanted to know that it was you. Yes, mum, it's me. Who else is giving you 3 rings on a Sunday evening at 7 o'clock? Like, grandma's already spoken to you today. Like, your sister's spoken to you today. I know that because I was there when they rang. Who's going to be ringing you? Oh, well, I just wanted to make sure it was you. Mum, I'm giving you 3 rings. You're not supposed to pick up the phone. That's the whole point of it. Oh! I'm glad it wasn't just me. I'm glad it wasn't just me. Right then, that is it. I'll be back on Sunday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. There's not going to be a late shift for a couple of weeks at the moment, just while I'm sorting out my health. Same but not for you. All right, not very long for you, because before texting was a thing. All right, just some of us are older, Ed. Some of us had to do 3 rings. Some of us had to memorize phone numbers. We didn't have a little mini computer in our hands. Yes, some of us had to some of us took 10p for the phone box with us if we ever went out, so we could ring. Or don't forget, if you get stuck, you can reverse the call. Some of us had to do that. Do you remember when there were phone boxes on every street corner? Yeah, some of us are that old, Ed. We didn't all grow up in the computer age, you know. Some of us are old as fuck. Anyway, that is it from me. That is it from me. I'm going now to go and sign up for my pension, get my purple rinse on, and plot the best chair in front of the telly in the nursing home with my crochet blanket. So then I will. For you, it was a ring and ring again, and we know it's important thing. Oh, that's different. Oh, same but different. It's like the other way round. You can remember 50p in a phone box. No, it was 10p. 10p, and I can still remember 738054. That was my phone number growing up. 738054, and you'd go, hello, 738054. I know it is. I've just rung it. You wouldn't say, hello, this is the Smith residence, or you wouldn't say, hello, Mrs. Smith talking. No, you'd go 738054, and it was always in a sing-song way. Inflation, yeah, absolutely inflation. Anyway, I'm going. And don't worry, 738054 is no longer an active phone number here in the UK. The place that I grew up, the area code changed, and they had numbers added to all of their numbers, and everything got changed, and so our phone number changed, and I could never remember it when it changed. All I could remember was the one growing up, which still, at the age of 48, I still remember far easier than my own mobile phone number, and that says a lot, doesn't it? Anyway, that's it for me. I'll be back on Sunday evening. Thank you so much to all of the subscribers. Thank you to the members. Don't forget, you can always join our membership. Oh, Neil, don't make me feel old. It was 20p in your day. 20p in your, and you remember when it added more numbers to the area code? Yep, 20p in your day. Oh my God, I'm so much older than all of you. Where's Patricia when I need her? She'd remember her when it was threepence. or whatever it was. But anyway, that is it for me. I'm going now because I need to go and cook dinner for me and the husband. So I will see you all very, very soon. And as we always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic. Don't forget you can join our memberships where you see the join button. But that is going to be it. And I will see you on the next one. Stay you, stay true, stay authentic. And I'll see you next time.